Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Locker Room and Voice of the People TV. I am Jerry Apeliohai, and of course we've got a thrilling show for you today. And of course, talking about the UEFA Champions League, the men versus the pretenders, or you want to say the contenders versus the pretenders, in that very epic UEFA Champions League action that went down at the Etihad Stadium last night. So much to talk about as far as the Super Eagles is concerned. Talking about the preparation for the World Cup qualifiers against Rwanda and Zimbabwe. A lot to look forward to. Joining me today is Ikechukwu, who makes a controversial return. I think controversial has joined your name. Controversial Ikechukwu. Great to have you, Ikechukwu, join us once again on Locker Room.
Yeah, good evening, Jerry, and good evening to the viewers. If saying the truth means being controversial, then I'll wear it like a coat of many color.
The truth that you become a prophet or a prophet of doom. Is that the truth? There's between the truth and prophesying that this and this is going to happen. Or as we call you Prophet Ikechukwu.
Well, the truth is, if I prophesy, if I prophesy and the prophecy comes to pass and it's not in your favor, you can decide to call me.
Your prophecies.
I prophesy that the only trophy you win this season is the Carabao Cup, and you are in the final of that Carabao Cup.
He also prophesied that we lose to Tottenham.
No, I didn't. How will I be prophesying at the same time countering my prophecy? I said that is the only trophy you win this season.
I've said that you should join politics. That is where you will thrive, because the way you change your opinion.
But did I say it or not? Mayowa was here. He
said
me loud and clear.
You always call Mayowa as your defense lawyer.
because we need a witness in all of this.
All right, Mayowa, it's also great to have you join us today as well. So much to talk about the UEFA Champions League. It would have been very interesting if City had won that game. And so glad to hear that maybe you ate your dinner before that game, because it was a scandalous showing. And even Guardiola had to say that Real Madrid are not humans, talking about their players. But we all saw what happened, all the antics from the fans to try as much as possible to bring down the spirit of Vinicius. But the man came and saw and conquered with 2 assists in that game. All right, we understand Mario is still here to join with us, okay? He's still mourning the loss with the wife of Manchester City. But when he comes around, we'll definitely take him on the show. All right, let's talk about Eric Chelle. He's determined to revive Nigeria's chances of qualifying for the 2026 World Cup. To this end, the former Malian national team coach has engaged in discussions with several Super Eagles players in preparation for their upcoming matches against Rwanda and Zimbabwe. And we hear that in a positive step, Chelle has reached out to Nigerian football legends, inviting them to motivate the team during this critical period. And the Super Eagles need wins in both matches to enhance their prospects for World Cup qualification, and the involvement of this legend is seen as a valuable addition. In time past, we've seen coaches make such move, and with Eric Chelle towing that line, do you think it's the right step in the right direction?
Absolutely. If you go into a new environment, the right thing to do or the proper thing to do is to actually look at people there before you, people who have been part of the system. It doesn't take anything away from you, but one, it's you showing respect to the gods of the land. Because if you are going to get it right or wrong, these guys are actually one of the key players that's going to make that happen. Because they might decide to sabotage your work, and no matter what it is you do, they have huge influence in the team. I mean, take a look at the France 98 squad. They're actually the one running French football, right? And we still know that the best pair of legs that we've had since the inception of the Super Eagles or the Nigerian national team is 94 class. And these guys are the ones actually, having the whole influence in the Super Eagles or in the NFF Glasshouse as regards ex-international. So, yes, going back to these guys and then seek advice and talk to them, get to know how this thing works in their own time when they were successful. It's actually a sign of a man who actually wants to succeed. And for me, I still strongly believe Eric, is actually doing the right path. And at the end of the day, we'll see him actually succeed. Hopefully, if he continues in this trail, because the worst thing you want to do as a coach or as a new person in a new job is to actually distance yourself from people who actually, have been there before. That's actually going to bring a very big problem for him. It takes just one stone, and then everything he's trying to build will just crumble. So yeah, it's a very good one.
All right, it's a very good one coming from Eric Chelle, hiring the services or talking about employing the services of legends to support the team. All right, Mayowa, we understand is with us. I hope that you've been a great consoler of Madame after that shocking loss, or would I say unexpected loss, after they were already leading and we thought it's gone, done and dusted. But Vinicius Junior turning up at the right time.
Well, it's always amazing to be here. It's always a good idea to take dinner before that kind of game. After that particular game, my wife was a bit, angry. She was not pleased with the result. However, there's a whole lot to take away from that particular match. Ederson needs to be shown the way out of the door. You cannot continue to make such rookie mistakes. You should not be making that kind of. So, I mean, he contributed to what happened. Also, this will be the this season that Man City are losing a game from a winning position. But in any case, it's the Champions League. Ancelotti showed that he's a master in winning the Champions League. He's a master when it gets to the crunch time in the Champions League and deliver the game. But in any case, like I always say, it's a good Wednesday to talk about. Thank you for having me, Jerry.
All right, and of course, that's Ike Chukwu's goalkeeper. He says that the goalkeeper that benches, that can bench Alisson. I think you need to apologize to
He put Alisson on the bench in 2024. Sorry, in
unless
2020.
Alisson was injured.
Alisson was part of the team in 2020, Copa America.
Okay.
He was there, was seated on the bench.
There's nothing you can tell me. If Alisson is fit, he's #1 for Brazil. Just leave that matter. Let's not even drag it. There is the same Ederson we saw yesterday. He's already expired goods.
You know how many times he saved Man City yesterday? He saved Man City, yes, a couple of.
He also still was there.
Well, of course, that's part of the game. I mean, people can.
Part of the game.
Yes, you can.
Ederson has been the goalkeeping problem of Manchester City for the past 3 seasons. So it's only that Man City have been using goals to cover it, and even at a point in time, they were benching him even while he was still fit.
For who?
For the second choice, I can't remember his name.
It was only last season that this guy had a couple of games where he played Ortega. Apart from that, it has always been.
Ederson has been a disaster for the past 3 seasons. Go and check the record. It's just that Man City has just been good enough to cover his blushes. Talking about the defense.
Man City.
So you are saying Ederson is a better goalkeeper than Alisson?
Of today?
Yes.
No.
Of even yesterday?
No, of today is no. Of previously.
Yesterday.
I mean, he has dropped form. It's part of what happens to players.
Anyway, so if you are going to the World Cup as a Brazil coach, even in the past,
as at
then, if you are going to the World Cup as a Brazil coach, you will bench Alisson and start.
It depends on who is in form. I mean, I'm going to go for who is
Where has
currently in the
Alisson
best
never
shape.
been in form? Since he joined Liverpool, which season has he never been in form? Just name one season that Alisson has not been in form.
How do you even rate the goalkeeper's form?
A goalkeeper's form.
How do you rate
they are good as your saves, your
the number of if we talk about
saves,
the saves,
your clean sheets.
So how many clean sheets has Ederson won, and how many has Alisson?
Even Alisson's worst season. Even when the defense was fumbling, he will still
what I'm saying is,
Ederson.
How many clean sheets have they both won in England? I think
you want to use clean sheet to compare.
I mean, that's how we rate goalkeepers.
Clean sheets alone.
Because you are talking about form.
Goalkeepers are not responsible for clean sheets. Do you know that? Your defense can make sure you secure clean sheets. Whether you are bad. That's why I've been saying the defense have been covering Ederson. So anytime.
So you are saying Man City had the best defense in England?
As at all the season they won the Premier League, they've been having one of the best defense, if not even the best. Talking about clean sheets. And the fact that they concede less goals.
So which means if you say a team has the highest number of clean sheets, last season Arsenal had
majorly due to the defense. Clean sheet is majorly due to the defense. So
we shouldn't talk about goalkeepers. No, goalkeepers don't play a part in clean sheet.
They play a part.
When Joe Hart won the clean sheet, Golden Glove or clean sheet, whatever, in England, I think for 3 seasons or thereabouts.
Which 3 seasons? 3 seasons.
Yes, now Joe Hart
Man
won
City.
it for Man City, with Man City rather. When he won it, that era,
That era, who were the defenders?
the Michele's company and co. This were the
Yeah,
guys. How many league titles did they win?
You are mentioning company like as if it's just one defender. Vincent Company was a beast during his time as in the Premier League. Mayowa, please. I don't know where Ikechukwu is going.
What I'm saying is,
he just mentioned Vincent
in
Company.
one hand,
Vincent Company, there was a season Vincent Company single-handedly made sure that Man City won the league.
Single-handedly.
Yes,
What is
in
it?
terms of his goals, his performance. If there was this goal he scored against Leicester,
That was the only season. That was the only season
against Chelsea.
Yes,
Chelsea.
that goal confirmed City status.
No, see what I'm saying.
Because they won the league by 1 point.
That goal he scored was the only goal he scored to help Man City win the championship. That goal was the only championship winning goal.
That goal alone.
For Man
That's
City.
good. This season he scored against Leicester City. I will not forget that goal.
That was the only goal in 2021.
I'm not telling you that goal
2021.
was crucial for Man City winning that league.
Yes, that's
and
what I'm saying.
They won the league by.
It is the only championship winning goals he has scored for Man City.
How many defenders can stand toe to toe in terms of the Premier League?
No, see, that's the thing,
Vincent Company.
One defender does not make a defense line good.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
One good defender does not make a defense line good.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, really? Okay, when John Terry was marshalling the defense at Chelsea.
Chelsea had the best setup. Ashley Cole was arguably the best left full back in the whole of Europe, even the world itself at that point.
Ikechukwu is still defending Ederson after he blamed him for yesterday. Anyway, let's end it there. Since it's because Ederson we are breaking a lot of history. Don't worry, we'll have a show. We'll do that. Anyway, let's talk about Eric Chelle. We're just talking about him looking out for the legends, advising him as far as making sure the Eagles do well in the qualifiers. And I don't know what you think about such a development. Sometimes it might backfire by bringing too many legends to be a part of the setup, but sometimes it might go well for you as a coach.
Well, the thing is very simple. We've said it. The NFF left it so late before appointing the coach. We should also remember they appointed Eric Chelle in January. He has little or no time to work. So definitely you'll be relying on, the advice of people, who have been there, who have done that. And that's the reason why he's seeking the advice of all these people. I will not be surprised, we've been saying it. A whole lot of, apart from the known names that we know, a whole lot of people that will make up the 31-man squad will not probably be, a pick for Eric Chelle. Some of them will come from people who knows the in and out of the Super Eagles, in terms of helping him, because the time they appointed him was too short for him to be able to do anything tangible, and the work of qualifier, is upon us. So definitely he needs all the help he can get to be able to assemble the best players, and that can probably do the job against Rwanda. As it is now, Chelle has no choice than to consult with people that are there already to help him dicey in terms of, is the one who they have given the job, is seeking advice from other people. However, the situation is very dire. He doesn't have time to be picking and choosing. He will need to rely on
The network really taking the toll on that one from coming from Mayowa. Okay, and definitely
the knowledge of those who have been there before. So, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I'm saying it might not be the ideal situation, but with what is on ground at the moment, definitely that's what we need to go with, because there is no way he will be picking and choosing when he doesn't have the knowledge, the full knowledge to be able to do that. So seeking advice from the legend, I think, is the best way for him to go, based on the fact that the time is too short for him to be able to do anything tangible from his own end.
All right, so let's see how that pans out. Okay, and top officials of the NFF have revealed that at least 2 chartered flights will depart from Nigeria for next month's must-win 2026 World Cup qualifier against Rwanda in Kigali. The flight will carry fans, officials, as well as major stakeholders of Nigerian football, and the Amavubis, of course, will be playing host to the Super Eagles at the Amahoro Stadium. and that will be on the 21st of March. And it's now left to be seen that who are the fans that are going to fill up those planes. I hope the little mosquitoes will not find their way into those planes, and those who have no business being there, and or those who will go and create distraction for the Eagles, because this is a very crucial qualifier.
Well, this sort of stories, when you hear them, just start laughing. And like you rightly said, we've had, cases of, something is created for this purpose, and then it's, these are the set of people who you find, benefiting from that particular project. Well, I want to believe that, the NFF, rather the supporters group of the Super Eagles, actually are a team. I think they are an organization that can actually hold their own at this point. Yes, even if the slot is made for say about 100 persons, I want to believe that the supporters club can actually get about 80, and then maybe the remaining 20 will be friend of friends, and then slot and slot, and then slot and co. So we'll just fill up the remaining 20% of that particular group. But as regards this particular idea of the NFF, yes, we need all of the support going to that particular encounter. Rwanda are actually at the top of their game in that particular group, and it reflects on what the standing says. And of course, our last game against them wasn't an easy one for us here in Nigeria. So then we definitely want to get everything out of that game. And I mean, we all know that anything short of a total victory in that particular game means that the Super Eagles is about to kiss our World Cup ticket goodbye. So all the support, we need our 12th man right there, because they will be playing in the front of their own 12th man. So it's going to be a very, very big game, and we need all the support we need to actually get that result right.
All right, of course, we need all the support. Maiwa, I don't know whether you'll be part of the chartered flights, and I hope we'll not be seeing every of the officials taking their girlfriends and the kitchen staff to be a part of the fans. We all know how it works, but we just hope that there will not be distraction, since there's going to be a lot of room to take a lot of people to Rwanda.
Well, I know they will never invite me. I mean, we've been on the case of the NFF president, so definitely, if they are sharing invitation for free, it will never get to us. Because I mean, when people tell the truth, they are always on their neck. But in any case, I think it's a good one that they are making provisions to get our supporters there. We have a whole lot of at stake in that particular game, and the supporters are there to probably to be able to give the boys the morale to be able to do the job. Definitely, Rwanda is not the most friendliest of places in terms of. I don't think we have a large number of Nigerians in Rwanda, so definitely, bringing in people from Nigeria to do the job is to do the supporting will probably go a long way. However, like we rightly said with the NFF, they've not in the past they've not proven themselves to be trustworthy. Like you rightly said, you will see a situation whereby a whole lot of the slots will go to mosquitoes and the rest of that. And another thing I would have even suggested, if the NFF probably listening, we have a whole lot of Nigerians staying in South Africa. That would be much more easier from South Africa to Rwanda. Why not let's get people from South Africa, Nigerians that are in South Africa, let's get them to Rwanda. We even get more of them to Rwanda, and probably it will even be much more cheaper. We get a whole lot of them from South Africa to Rwanda, let them support the Super Eagles. Then when they are done with the game, they go back to South Africa. I hope what the NFF is trying to do. I hope they stick to the plan and not just say it, and by the end of the day we start seeing NFF president traveling and he has about 200 entourage taking free slot and the rest of that. I hope they are sincere with this, because I mean, like Ikechukwu rightly said, we need our 12th man there to be able to do the job for us.
All right, definitely we need our 12th man, but it will not be as loud as the fans of Rwanda at the Amahoro Stadium. They should know that the Eagles should be prepared for a hostile crowd at the Amahoro Stadium. Well, that being said, and there's a lot of worry about Super Eagles' number one first choice goalkeeper, talking about Stanley Nwabali. He's been grieving over the death of his parents. This may have caused his South African club to lose a league game, according to the coach. On Saturday, Chippa United fell 1-0 to TS Galaxy in the Premiership, with many blaming Nwabali's error for the match winner. And of course, his frame of mind is a thing of worry for the coach, and definitely it should worry the fans of the Super Eagles going into crucial doubleheader in the month of March. I think those in charge of the technical committee should reach out to him and find out what the problem actually is. If he's not going to be mentally ready, they should start making preparations on who is going to man the goalpost when the Super Eagles play in the double header against Rwanda and Zimbabwe.
Absolutely. When this news first came out, I was quite worried for him. It's actually not easy to lose both parents in the space of 1 month. I mean, so sad when when his mom finally died. But that being said, I mean, the coach of Chippa United actually took all of the bullets, took the blame. He was actually sounding like Akon after a particular game. You can put the blame on me. You can put the blame on me. Because he said that he had a discussion with Nwabali after when he arrived. I think it's about 2 weeks after he arrived, this game actually happened. And the man told, Nwabali that you have to get in there. And Nwabali said, Coach, I'm not ready. Mentally, I'm not ready for this particular game. And the coach insisted because, of course, he's one of their key players. And he got there and he did a lot of saves, but then that blunder, just like what happened to Ederson yesterday, people really remember, the good sacrifice you've done, and they only latch on to that particular mistake you made that cost them dearly. And that's exactly what happened. And a lot of persons were like, Nwabali actually cost Chippa United. But it's not his fault. He actually gave reasons why he shouldn't play, but the coach insisted in playing him. So I don't want to even talk about him. Now, back to what you were saying about him, being ready for the double header. Yes, it's very good for them to actually assess him mentally if he's actually ready to play for the Super Eagles. And for me, I'll say at this point, I think Stanley Nwabali should actually, get. It's still in March, right? So by end of this February, if they assess him and see if he's actually good to go. If he's good to go, let them invite him. If he's not good to go, let's look at other goalkeepers. I mean, this is another opportunity for Okoye to actually. This is another chance for him to actually prove himself. I mean, the guy is doing so well for his club, but I don't know why he's yet to actually, get over the phobia of the Super Eagles jersey. Maybe this is that point where that redemption comes. This new manager might actually have what it takes to actually unlock, the Patrick, what's his name? Fabian Barthez in him, or the Van der Sar in him. So perhaps let's see what happens. They say if one man own no spoil, another man own no go, better. So now when one door close, you could not see another door day. So I'll leave it at that. So I just hope to see another person fight for that jersey. And it's so unfortunate that it's happening because Nwabali is having a mental breakdown. But then it is good for the Super Eagles. Let's have a second choice who can actually battle that jersey with him.
All right, and of course, we also encourage you to also call in via the studio line. You can call us via WhatsApp, and you can also drop your comments in the comment section. We'll be able to take them. And of course, we already have one. This one is from A. Kawonde. I don't know. That name sounds like Rwandan, or I don't know, maybe it's Nigerian, but just funkified the name. And he said, that's a shame. He needs time. I think maybe he's talking about Eric Chelle. Thank you very much, Kawonde, for that comment, though I didn't really understand. Or maybe he's talking about Eric Chelle, saying it's a shame. He needs time to really gel and, of course, prepare the team for the double-header qualifiers. Okay, Maiwa, we just talked about the state of mind of Stanley Nwabali. We hope that he recovers in time mentally, because we need him in the right frame of mind in those double-header qualifiers, because he's our first choice.
Definitely. Before you can do anything, you have to, your mind, your mental health needs to be in the right place before you can even excel in whatever you do. The thing is this: I think at the moment they should keep him out of the team, and this is very simple. He seems to be struggling with the loss. I mean, he lost both parents in the space of 1 month. That can be really, really tough. And this is me talking from experience of knowing how something like that feels. It's not something, it might look all right, but it's not all right. Probably he needs to speak to a psychologist, because it's not something you can just shake off like the coach says. I think I want to put the blame on the coach. The coach is putting him in a tight corner. He's putting him in a very bad situation. When he said he wasn't ready, the coach should have left him alone. In this kind of situation, he needs to speak to a psychologist. At the moment, I think if he stays away from football 1, 2, 3 months, I don't think it's bad for him to be able to gather himself and probably come back much more better. Because I mean, the more you begin to put in bad performance, the more your stock begins to go down. And like Ikechu rightly said, fans, and I'm not disrespecting any fans tend to have shallow memory. Where it is when you are performing that they see you. When you are going through a whole lot, they don't care. They are just passionate about what to deliver on the day. And a whole lot of people forget that these guys keep putting in the performance. They are human beings, and sometimes they go through a whole lot of emotion. So for me, I think Nwabali should probably stay off football 1 to 3 months. Let him speak to a psychologist, go through that process, go through the healing process, and come back much more stronger. For getting another goalkeeper, um, Okoye is not the right person for Nigeria at the moment. Remember, Okoye has been suspended by his club because of the allegation of match fixing. I don't want a situation whereby we bring Okoye in and the allegation following me around will probably, put Nigeria in trouble. They might say we are feeding an ineligible player and just to assess. He has a lot of controversy surrounding his name. I think he should stay away from the Super Eagles. Now, coming to finding a replacement, I think this is an opportunity for the 40 goalkeepers that play in our league. I've said it consistently that yes, Nwabali has great for himself, but I still don't think Nwabali has held down to the number position such that the home-based goalkeepers cannot challenge him. We have 40 goalkeepers. I believe out of those 40, we can get 2 or 3 that will be able to play the Rwanda match and even do very well in that particular game. We should look inward and give the our local guys the opportunity to be able to do that. If nobody gave Enyama the opportunity while he was playing for Enyimba, probably he might not be Nigeria's number one for 11 to 12 years. So I think we need to give the guys an opportunity for them to be able to showcase what they have. It's a good one for the local guys. Let's see if Chelle will look at them and probably give them the opportunity to prove their worth to the Super Eagles.
All right, so let's see how that pans out. Okay, let's talk about the Nigerian Professional Football League, where Kano Pillars assistant coach Ahmed Garba emphasized that the team is fully concentrated on their scheduled match day 20 encounter with El Kanami Warriors, and following their recent 2-1 loss to league leaders Remo Stars, the team is determined to bounce back. Okay, I know a lot of people have already given the title to Remo Stars, but for Kano Pillars, I don't know what the plan is this season, and I think Garba still in the job. It's still a miracle, or maybe because he's a homeboy, and that is why he's still enjoying the benefit of still being the coach of Kano Pillars. I monitored the results against Remo Stars. It showed that they still have a lot of work to do.
Ahmed Garba is actually, of course, not the main coach of the Kano Pillars, but then the assistant coach. The reason why a lot of persons, look at him because he's a big figure for Kano Pillars. I mean, an ex-Kano Pillar legend, and of course, an ex-MPFL legend. The era when Kano Pillars were dominating the Nigerian Professional Football League, that was the era of Yaro Yaro, as it's fondly called back in the days. One of the biggest players in the Nigerian Professional Football League at that time. And that time, when they step into that, that arena, the Sani Abacha Stadium, like they call them the Mesugida landlord. When they step into that arena, I think they are the team with the longest unbeaten run in the Nigerian Professional Football League history. Right there in that home, they didn't lose a game for 3 years. These were the guys that made that possible. So you understand how to win the league. You understand what it takes to actually fight for the league from a losing position. You've won the league multiple times. So when he's speaking, a lot of person will have to listen to him. And it's time to actually shift focus. Yes, they must have had disastrous results so far. They are not actually where they want to be, on the log. And Remo Stars is actually the team to beat at this point. Remember, Gbenga Ogumodede was talking about his team yesterday, and of course, he's the coach of the Chan Eagles. He was saying that they should actually have a mental shift. This is not the time to actually look back. You remember last season, Remo Stars actually lost the league, after having a very wonderful campaign until, towards the end of the season where Enugu Rangers came and, of course, won the league. 5 points, they lost the league to Enugu Rangers. And Enyimba came closely third, I think about 2 points behind them. So it was all about this mental attitude that this guy is actually talking about. You are playing a team, and the coach is also sounding a rallying cry to this, this is our season to win the league. And Yaro or Ahmed Garba, that is his official name, is saying, you know what, we have to actually live up to the billing. We are Kano Pillars. We are one of the most celebrated league sides in Nigeria. And when it comes to Nigerian league, when you talk about Enugu Rangers, talk about Enyimba, then you're talking about Kano Pillars next. So it tells you a lot about, how much of an experience is willing to actually dish to these guys. And they've got players also in that mix that has got a lot of experience. Players like Ahmed Musa came back and they've been trying all they could to actually come back to the position which everyone know them to be. So for him to actually be saying this, it's actually a point to it actually points to the fact that they've actually not been that team they want to be, and then perhaps because many of these guys in this particular kind of player setup don't know what it takes to win the league. So then, if they can actually move away from that particular focus, that Academy Warriors game, going to play the which word should I use to describe Remo Stars? Okay, the league champions in waiting. Then you have to go into that particular challenge with a championship winning mentality.
All right, we understand. We have a call already. Okay, let's take the call before we go over to Mayowa to talk about. We'll also be talking about the league standings. Remo Stars sitting pretty with 8 points above Shooting Stars, and Rivers United by Finidi George. Okay, hello. You're welcome to Locker Room.
Morning.
Yes. Good evening from Nigeria, and of course I know it's morning where you
sorry.
are, Chicago.
This is from Chicago, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to chip in a little bit on about Stanley Wambali.
Stanley Wambali.
Like what a gentleman, like that what gentleman said, Mr. Mayowa or something like. I mean, we have a lot. I mean, we have like 16. I mean, at least 19 clubs in Nigeria that are playing the NPFL. There should be look for one. I mean, we should look for one. I mean, it's not good that we are looking for the goalkeeper like this. I remember a couple of years back, like a 1990 something, 80 something. We don't. I mean, we have at least that time we have like 5, 6 good goalkeeper that's keeping in that league. In the same Nigeria, that you know what? Even anybody that come from Europe, they can't even bench them. Nigeria, we have a lot of things. We have a lot of good things. We should be looking. I mean, we should find at least 2 or 3 guys in that league. They can't tell me that they can't find anybody because I know experience is scanty. But hey, let's be honest. If one Bali left Nigeria before they can even see him, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with the NFL or with the people, anybody that's helping them selecting their whatever they are selecting. But there should be 1 goalkeeper or 2, in that league. Because I mean, every week they play league. I'll be hearing somebody Coyote, whatever. There's a guy that keeping for the Eyimba. They should look for one. Let's build the confidence of them, and then we're ready to go. We shouldn't be we are looking for whatever. That doesn't stop us to win. I don't know how Nigeria take it. A lot of people here, some people can't even sleep when we gather talking about Nigeria Super Eagles. You will see how people like they want to kill themselves. Like, come on, guys, calm down. But Nigeria need to help us, especially NFL. Please, they should look for goalkeeper in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Tarit. Very passionate about Nigerian football, and we understand why. And that is why we are here to give you updates as far as that is concerned. And I know that Eric Chelle will definitely be worried with this news about the mental state of Stanley Wambali, and I hope that they will already be mapping out plan to make sure in case it's not available, there will be a very good option as far as that one is concerned. Okay, Mayo, we just talked about the league, and the league standings are there to show that Kano Pillars will have to do more than what they are doing at the moment if they want to end or finish well on the league table. And of course, it's not good that Kano Pillars with their pedigree are languishing in 14th position, just 1 point behind the same spot under the same level that Manchester United enjoys in the English Premier League.
Why? How did Man U get into this?
Only is 13th and the Kano Pillars is 14th. So like brothers, but not too far off.
In any instance, Kano Pillars were very well this season, and the reason is simple. their away form has been terrible. They've been doing badly away, and that has contributed, to what is going on with Calipilas right now. That has contributed to the position they are in right now at the moment. I hope Yaro can come in and you'll be able to help them. Yes, the game against Remo was a disaster, and definitely they are playing against Academy Warrior. There's a need for them to, forget about the game they have lost, focus on the next game. However, if they want to, turn their fortunes around, there is a need for them, to be able to do better away. Most of the time this season, especially this season, they have struggled away. They have lost a whole lot of points away, and that's the reason why they are languishing where they are. The likes of Rabiu Ali, Ahmed Musa, these are people with a whole lot of experience. They have an assistant coach in the person of Ahmed Garba that has experience winning the league. I think if they can, combine their experiences together and probably inculcate that into the younger ones that are representing Kano players right now, I think they should be able to do something fantastic. However, the league this season, I don't know what's going on with the league. Apart from the fact that Kano players is doing the league this season, the away teams have been struggling. I just hope we are not back to the era of home team always winning. I've been following the league. The results for the away teams is nothing to write home about, and I think that needs to be fixed if we want to get our league, being much more competitive. I mean, you cannot have a league that's competitive when a home team are always winning. It doesn't make any logical sense. I hope this improves.
All right, and this is a league where those sitting on top, Remo Stars has already lost 5 games this season and 15 wins to show for their 48 points. So that's how interesting and competitive the league has been. But definitely, home advantage. It maybe sometimes, mostly the fact that traveling for games is very, very hectic for a lot of teams. Even when the boss, they're talking about the means of transportation look okay, what about the roads? This is why the government plays a role in creating a conducive environment for every aspect of the sector, every sector to thrive, like football, for instance. Even taking flight these days is not chicken change. And how many club sites have private jets? And definitely, I don't know which one has private jet currently. So it is what it is. The governor would prefer to have a private jet than to have the football team have a comfortable jet to jet them from one place to the other. So it is what it is. Anyway, let's talk about Samuel Chukwueze. He will be missing the next UEFA Champions League game should he be booked in tonight's clash against Feyenoord. And the AC Milan winger has already been booked twice in the competition, and another caution will hand him a one-match suspension. Of course, that is not the news, but the news is that Manchester City's fans started the night by unfurling a huge flag taunting Real Madrid and Vinicius Jr. for their angry reaction to Rodri beating the Brazilian to last year's Ballon d'Or. And of course, the inscription was loud and clear. "Stop crying your heart out" was the message. The words of the Oasis hit, accompanied by an image of Rodri kissing the coveted trophy at the ceremony boycotted by Real in protest at the decision. And of course, firing barbs at the most ruthless and experienced operators in Champions League history is a dangerous occupation, and so it proved. All the tears belong to City and their supporters at the final whistle after a trademark smash and grab late surge gave Real a potentially decisive 3-2 advantage after the first leg of this playoff to reach the last 16 of the Champions League. Some would say that Real have done the business. Talking about the Italian job, Carlo Ancelotti doing it the mafia style. It's not who laughed first. They say he who laughed last laughs the best, and that is what Real did on the night against Guardiola's Manchester City.
Yes, of course. It's a game of a cripple and a blind, squaring up against themselves. The first to actually get to a particular spot. The blind man can actually run, but the vision to actually get there is lacking. That's Man City because of their mental state at this point. And of course, the cripple is Real Madrid. Their defense, the leg which they stand on as a team is actually not there. And then it has to do with being tactical and how you actually have to make do of your sitting position and taking advantage of what you have as a person to actually get the best of what you have to do. I said it here yesterday. I said it's going to be a very tight game. It's going to be a difficult game for both of them. It's a game of who is going to outwit who, the most. Pep Guardiola actually came into that game. I think the error he actually made was that Rico Lewis change. I'm not even looking at Ederson. I mean, Coutinho would have been a very, very a better player against Vini, not Rico. Rico is, for me, I don't even see him as a defender again. And they're going to a game, someone who is arguably the best winger in the world. I mean, it's a game to lose. Immediately actually brought in that guy, and of course Kevin De Bruyne for Gundogan. Gundogan has not been himself since he left Barcelona. Returned to Manchester City. So these are the two. Again, it goes back to who Pep Guardiola is at this point. He's losing it. I think he really needs time to actually come back to himself and then work on who he is and so that he can actually make the right call when it comes to substitutions and game plans. And then for Don Carlo Ancelotti, I mean, we cannot overemphasize who he is. He's got what it takes to actually change a situation. He knows how to win his competition. He's won multiple times with AC Milan. He's won it multiple times with Real Madrid. I mean, what else can you actually say about a man who is arguably the most decorated Champions League coach in this era? And going into that particular game, I looked at Don Carlo Ancelotti. I know that there's just one business he needs to do, and that is the Italian job. He did it smoothly. He made the right call when he did bring in those substitutions, and then he changed everything for Real Madrid on the night. If they are actually going to qualify, it's going to be another story because I still think Manchester City is got a very good leg to come back into this particular game. But then it depends on how Real Madrid holds their own. This particular game, it's just like what we saw last season. They actually played, it actually ended in a shootout. Who says Man City cannot win 2-1 at the Bernabeu and it's still going to penalty shootout? But then let's talk about this particular game. Real Madrid did the job, and trust me, they actually deserve. For Vini's story, right? I mean, I'm so glad that he's laughing last because a lot of persons, when they started taunting him, for me, I don't see any reason why they should be taunting him. Yes, it might sound or it might appear very childish for Real Madrid to have boycotted that ceremony, knowing that they are not going to win. But then it's just a personal thing. You don't have to bring in a banner and then attack a player because of his choice of not attending the ceremony. But then Vinicius Jr., I'm glad he's going back smiling. We laugh last, and that's it for me. Football won at the end of the day. Congratulations, Real Madrid. Let's see what happens, in the second leg.
All right, and that says a lot about the mental strength of Vinicius Jr. Going ahead to get 2 assists in spite of all the antics from the Manchester City fans to distract him. We saw what the City fans did there, but it was not enough to stop the Akpororo of of European football.
Well, the thing is, it's very simple. They picked the wrong guy to do it with. Remember how racist, Spanish fans are towards Vini Jr. He has gone through a whole lot. So what Man City fans were doing is, is very small compared to what he faces in Spain. So when I saw that banner, I was just smiling to myself that this guy will show them shaggy, and he actually did. I mean, he was very fantastic in that particular game. However, the game turned its head when Akanji got injured. Immediately Akanji got injured, and you had Stone switching back, going back to the defense. That was where Man City started having issues from. However, the team is aging, and a whole lot of them. Remember, there's a Kevin De Bruyne who is leaving Man City at the end of this season. He has not renewed. They have not given him any contract to renew. He's definitely leaving at the end. His contract expires by June. He's definitely leaving Man City. A whole lot of their players, their key players, are aging, and there's a need for a replacement for them. The players don't have the mental strength to be able to win games. They don't have the mental strength. They don't have the capability to carry on with games. That is the reason why they are always collapsing in the last 20 minutes of the game. If you look at the games that Man City has drawn or has lost, this season, it has always happened in the last 20 minutes of the game, and the same thing happened yesterday. How can you be leading 2-1 and you allow a Brian Diaz that opportunity. How can you be leading 2-1 and what's his name, Ederson, we decide to play a wrong pass? How can you be drawing 2-2 and the defender that is supposed to clear the ball away without minding anywhere, is trying to form. I know how to play football, and that actually cost them. I think Ancelotti, he has proven once again. I mean, somebody that has 7 Champions League titles to his name, 2 as a player, 5 as a coach, shows how much he knows how to win the Champions League. I mean, like Ikechukwu rightly said, he's one of the most decorated, coaches in the Champions League, and he has shown class again. Well, it's the Champions League. The game is just 3-2. Man City can go to Madrid and do the job. However, with this Man City that I'm seeing, if anything does not change, I don't think they can do the job against a Madrid side. A Madrid side that does not have a majority of their players. Some of those that play in the defense, Asensio and Chomeni, they were not defenders. These were midfielders, and they did the job so well. Kudos to Ancelotti. That's why he's one of the best coaches we have in the Champions League.
All right, that being said, and taking a look at all the results that went down last night, it was 3-0 in favor of PSG, who went away to Brest, and of course, Manchester City losing at home by 3-2, and it was only a home win, and that's the power of the Champions League. Juventus beating PSV by 2-1, and Guerrero, the man of the moment, inspiring Borussia Dortmund against Sporting Lisbon. I don't know the plan of Sporting Lisbon since the sack Amorim, since Amorim took the glory to Manchester United, and he's not even using it. That's even how funny it is. And of course, the fixtures for tonight, there's one, Atlanta away to Club Brugge. There's Feyenoord up against AC Milan. Bayern Munich away in Scotland as they take on Celtic. There's also a very interesting one, Benfica. Definitely, it's going to be a difficult one for Benfica away to Monaco. Those are the fixtures to look forward to, and that's where we leave it on Locker Room this lovely evening. A lot we've looked at, and hopefully we'll have some more interesting Champions League games to talk about tomorrow when we come back on Locker Room. Ikechukwu, it's been a pleasure having you.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, Jerry. It's been a very, very awesome one as Talk Sport. And it's so sad that I was rooting for Man City because I wanted to see them come back, but unfortunately, it happened the way it happened. And kudos to Don Carlo. And today's fixtures, yes, interesting. I think the one for me today is the Monaco Benfica game. I just want to see how Ruben Amorim's air is going to actually fare in that particular game.
All right, of course, Mario, thanks for being a part of the show as well. See you tomorrow once again on Locker Room.
Well, it's always amazing to be here.